Guys, bet on yourself. DocumentCrunch.com. He started tinkering around with this, call it 5-6 years ago in 2018. He was at a cushy corporate job, but his line out of his door in terms of general contractors and changes to contracts and hard hat folks going, I need to edit here, was through the roof. He said, I got to do something about this. In 2021, he went full time building Document Crunch with his two other co-founders. They split equity about evenly. Today, they're serving, quote, hundreds of customers. Their minimum price point is $4,000 per year. And there's a clear path. They charge, a couple $100 per project. So you can do the math, right? If they're doing one contractor doing thousands of projects, you quickly get to the $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 sort of contract ranges. They're growing their team 55 today, heavy outbound motion especially with AEs and inbound, 6 quota carrying reps. Just recently closed a $9 million Series A as they look to continue to scale and hopefully grow 200% year over year. Hey folks, my guest today is Josh Levy. He's the CEO of Document Crunch, and he co-founded the contract intelligence platform to leverage his extensive construction law expertise. With a background in leading $1 billion departments, his mission is to empower the construction industry by raising contract standards through innovation and risk mitigation. Josh, you ready to take us to the top?
I am. Good to be here, Nathan.
Yeah. Tell me the pain that you experienced sometime in your history. You said, I've got to fix this. Was it like a $100 million deal that blew up because the contract wasn't signed the right way, or the IP timestamp wasn't attached, or what was it?
Yeah, really, I certainly was very aware of the issue in the construction industry, that there just aren't a lot of lawyers out there, and construction is super risky. So, understanding and setting contracts up the right way, negotiating, that was important. But that because so many companies just don't have those types of resources, and it's risky. But the aha moment, Nathan, really was, I was in-house at a large contractor where they did make the investment to have me there full time as their in-house lawyer, and I'd be doing all this legal work that you would expect, or negotiating contracts. But every single day, I would have a line outside my office, folks out there, hard hat in one hand, a piece of paper on the other hand. It wasn't about setting up the contract or negotiating the contract. They knew I had that. What it was about is construction is so dynamic, and there's so much risk that happens every single day in the field. Like, things happen that change the time or money for performance. And these folks wearing hard hats need to comply with the contract in order to keep money in their pockets. And if they don't comply with the contract, then they lose money. And so I was looking around saying, oh my gosh, there's this massive industry, and there's like this many of me, like a tiny, tiny, tiny fraction.
What year was this, Josh?
This was about 6 years ago now.
Okay, so 2018 time frame. And then when did you take the leap then and jump out of the cushy gig and say, I want to solve this?
Yeah, well, right around then, I started reading a lot about how legal tech was being used to speed up lawyers' work. And so again, I was like, oh, that's interesting. That'd be cool for me, Josh. But I was like, where is the technology that's helping all the non-lawyers out there? And more importantly, construction has so many of them that I know exactly what they would need day to day. And so 6 years ago, we had this real moment where it was like, AI is awesome, but nothing is helping all the non-lawyers. And so we started building this in stealth about really late 2018 now. So yeah, going up on 6 years, I'd say like 5.5, would be closer probably to when we actually started doing it. We were thinking about it 6 years ago, started doing it about 5.5 years ago. Did it for a few years, kind of in stealth, quietly. Had some friends in the industry start trying it out and like it. And then 3.5 years ago, I took the plunge and went full time. And it has been the experience of a lifetime ever since. I just never could have imagined that the world would have opened up to this idea this way, and that I would have been so fortunate to have just brought in such an amazing team that's actually taken this vision.
Yeah, Josh, just to jump in, just there's a lot to unpack and quick show. Let me just dive in here. So you went full-time 2021. You keep saying we. Was it just one co-founder, or how many co-founders?
No, I had two co-founders. Actually, a lawyer who I spent a lot of my career practicing with in the construction industry was one of my co-founders. And then also just a third-party kind of entrepreneur that was in my co-founders network that helped kind of set up the business and initial product dev and things like that.
And Josh, do you guys just split it equally at the start, 33 each, or no, you worked it out differently?
High level, that's kind of, what it looked like. We, we all were contributing, kind of just split up the pie.
Yep. Okay. I want to foreshadow a little bit and then get the full story of 2021 to 2024 when you started full time to where we are today. But let's again foreshadow a little bit. Today, what's the average customer paying you to use your technology per year?
It's not something that we disclose publicly, but I can tell you that that price has like more than tripled in the last 2 years because of the increased jobs that we're automating every single day for the industry.
Can you give me some sort of range though? I mean, the reason I ask the question is because understanding a PLG motion, bottoms up, low ARPU, but high volume is very different than an enterprise-led motion, $1 million contracts. So where are you?
Yeah, that's a better way to think about it, Nathan. Well, there's plenty of SMBs that come inbound to Document Crunch. We're really building our product for the middle market of the industry and up into that enterprise. So we have so many very large contractors using us as well, because the full expression of our product is not just that simple, hey, I need to understand what's in my contract before I negotiate the job, but it's actually enabling project teams across the whole portfolio to reduce their risk. And so you think about our product, we're really starting to be priced on a per project basis for these large enterprise projects. I mean, just to put things in perspective, we've got numerous customers that are using us on hundreds of projects, and now we've got folks asking to use us on thousands of projects. So you could kind of do the math, even at a small per project price.
Well, yeah, let's say I was signing up today and I said, hey, I'm a GC. I'm going to do it. I need a contract for 1,000 projects per year. What am I going to pay on average? Probably
several $100s a project.
Okay.
Based on the current suite of services that we have.
Okay. So if I'm 1,000 projects at $300 a project, that's a contract value of something like 300 grand a year, something like that.
Yeah. Again, you're starting to get into like the general ballpark of how we see the world.
I see. Obviously, you have to grow into that level, right? Selling those larger contracts, driving the volume up based off per project stuff. Do you have quota-carrying sales reps to go target those big contracts or no?
Of course. I mean, we've got, again, like many of the largest construction companies in the USA already like onboarded onto our product. I mean, this has become the standard in our industry, Nathan, which is really cool because it's such an important problem. And you start to think about the relative value on a per project basis. I mean, it's frankly one of the best ROIs for like this commercial uses of AI that I could think of, like how we're disrupting the construction industry.
I want to go back and understand how you grew to this point. Can you give us some context though today? I mean, are you working with 10 enterprise accounts or 10,000 SMBs?
No, we're in the hundreds of customers now, and it's a pretty good mix right now. SMBs come inbound every single day for that original use case that I talked about. But we're working with very large amount of large contractors as well.
What is that bottoms up? I know you have obviously an outbound approach for the big ones, the big GCs. But if I was an SMB, just come and no touch to the website, what's the lowest price point I could get started at? Is it $100 for one project?
No, it's still in the thousands of dollars.
Per year.
Like it's an annual contract generally. I mean, again, we're automating some pretty important jobs to be done, and it's still could be a lot of, in that case, you have like a back office use case. You may not be buying us on a per project basis at that point in time, but, imagine that we're, still charging a good amount of money even for that back office use case.
Yep. 2021 to today, adding hundreds of customers, not easy, right? A lot of companies try to do that. They never do it. Talk me through your first 10, 20 customers. What was your go-to-market motion in 2021, 2022?
I mean, you're looking at the best sales guy from 2021 and 2022 right here, right? It started with me, founder-led. I, of course, had a very good understanding of the product space and the problem that we were solving for. And our original users were really legal departments of some of these large contractors. But that was because of who I was and who I was able to call. That was never the vision, right? The vision always was it was the non-lawyers that needed this the most in both big and small companies. And then, as we started iterating, the nice thing is that, the legal departments can tend to be, or the legal users can tend to be the most discerning users. And so getting the product to a point over time where like we saw that we were providing regular value just very organically within this very relational industry, started getting referrals. Our brand started becoming well-known, conferences, that whole circuit. And now, we're the standard in our industry. And so it was hard fought and hard won, Nathan, in terms of it takes time and it takes quite a bit of effort, but we've remained very empathetic to the industry and we've built a product that the industry loves.
Hey folks, if we haven't met yet, my name is Nathan Latka. I launched and sold my first software company back in 2015 and went on to write a book about it, which you guys made a Wall Street Journal bestseller, purchasing over 30,000 copies. Thank you so much for that. After the book, I launched this show and went on to create founderpath.com. I raised a large fund to do non-dilutive deals with B2B software founders. So far, we've invested in over 400 software founders, totaling $150 million. Here in 2024, we're doing 3 to 4 new deals per week. So if you're looking for capital and don't want to give up equity, go sign up at founderpath.com for free to get your offer. All right, let's jump into the interview.
I like obviously the excitement and hey, we are the de facto standard, but I always want to push people to quantify that, right? Because it's not fair to competitors potentially in the space. So when you say you are, quote, the de facto standard, are you measuring that by number of projects you process per year, number of GCs that use you? Why do you make that statement?
Certainly, we're the market leader, and we don't have any true competition, Nathan. I mean, no one is thinking about contract compliance across the project lifecycle like we are. Of course, there's features. Copilot, you could say, could be a competitive feature to some of what we do, but legal tech companies could process construction contracts for the back office. But when you think about like automation of jobs to be done across the project lifecycle, we're the only folks that are doing this across the board. So that's one. And yes, we're the market leader because of that. But more importantly, Nathan, it's just become very much like we're synonymous with best practices for our industry. Like there was a point in time where construction used to be considered an unsafe industry, right? I'm going to use a very rhetorical example. And at some point, a hard hat was handed out and said, like, this is economically viable and there's some real risk management benefit to wearing it. And now you don't step on a construction project without a hard hat. You're seeing that type of an attitude toward a very clear, cost-effective gap that we're now able to fill, that it's just candidly negligent to not be using our product if you're in the construction industry.
Why would someone pick you over Contract Safe or Legal on Tech or Hyper Science, some of these other folks that play the DocMe, et cetera?
I mean, I guess if you only had a back office use case, maybe there'd be, we go deeper into construction than anybody, but if you only had a back office use case, I would say that legal tech would be something that could compete with us. But I don't even know some of those companies you name, but what I'm certain of is none of them are being distributed and automating jobs to be done for people in the project trailer wearing hard hats right now. Mm-hmm. That's the
what
big
you're saying is you've so clearly defined your niche. There's no one else delivering as much value to this very clear, specific niche that you're carving out. And that's why you feel confident saying, like, you are the market leader. Because there's a bunch of qualifications. Market leader for hard hat wearing folks, these kinds of GCs doing these kinds of projects, this kind of back office plus legal tech.
Yeah, and knitting the back office to the field, which are people in job trailers right now. That's exactly right.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm with you. Talk to me about how you funded the business. How have you capitalized the business? Bootstrapped or raised?
Originally bootstrapped, but now we've gone through, we closed our Series A round of financing. So we've done a couple of price rounds, venture backed, over the last, since I have been the CEO, we've raised about, I think $19 million in total.
The most recent one I think was earlier this year, $9 million from Navitas Capital. Is that right?
That's right.
This is obviously nothing to do with you, just in general, the market. It's very tough to raise today. What did you see when you put the pedal to the metal, run the process in February?
Yeah, I mean, look, I've raised in the best of times and in my seed round, and then the worst of times, my A. What I saw is it is tough, right? Macroeconomic conditions certainly change venture appetite. Things like interest rates or, just general notions of what's playing out in the economy. But here's the one thing, and I'm just going to come back to it, Nathan. Like at bottom, we are solving an extremely real and easy to understand problem for a massive industry. And that has been a huge anchor for me through the best and the worst of times, because this is a very clear and easy application of a great product to a really big problem space. So that's when I look in the mirror sometimes in the worst of times, I remind myself, I have a product on the streets right now that our industry loves. There's something very powerful in that, Nathan. And that I think has given a lot of enthusiasm to the investors that have made their bets on us. But certainly the climate in December when we closed the round was much different than 2 years ago when we closed our A. Or I'm sorry, our seed, I should say. 2 years before that.
Yeah, so I guess the Series A that you did, it sounds like you closed it December, not earlier this year, but call it 8, 9, 10 months ago. Most folks, like I've heard right now, Series A is they're selling on order of 10 to 15% of the company. Were you sort of in that same range?
Yeah, again, we're not going to disclose the dilution of the round. That we consider that to be a confidential matter. But yeah, all of our rounds, I would say, have been well within market norms at the various stages that we've raised.
Mm-hmm. So on that note, I mean, dilution is important, right? So if you sold 10 to 15%, obviously then your exit opportunities decrease because you have liquidation preferences, et cetera, which means you must have really wanted this capital. There's a very real reason for it. Why did you need this money to grow the business?
There's just no doubt. I mean, we are the essence of what a venture-backed opportunity looks like. We have a massive market. We can't go fast enough. We can't sell fast enough. We can't build product fast enough. In fact, even with the A, we're still experiencing that. It's unbelievable to see the pull that we've gotten from the market. That is why venture capital exists. And so we need the growth capital. We needed the growth capital, and we still need the growth capital. We're going to 3x for our fourth time in a row.
Sorry, but Josh, that didn't answer my question. Where are you investing the money? Is it on outbound sales reps, engineers, something else?
Yeah, we're investing the money in two areas, primarily deepening our product to automate more work because there's more value for each job to be done that we automate. But then also, yes, truly building out now a scalable sales team, which we've increased tremendously this year.
What's the total team size today?
We're at 55 employees today.
Okay, wow. And how many of them are quota carrying reps?
We have business developers and marketing folks, but I'm talking, AEs. We have 6 account executives on the team, and we're about to hire a 7th.
10% of the company. Okay, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. There's enough leads to feed all of them. They're all hitting quota. You're all feeling good.
We have keep in mind, we've scaled up the sales team quite a bit. We had 3 at the beginning of the year. So a lot of these are recent hires, but they're all coming in and closing business right away. Our pipeline has really blossomed. And in fact, the big development this year has been Outbound has now become, our marketing pipe has always been a huge strength of ours, but Outbound is now crushing it. We're about to double our BDR team because of how impactful Outbound has become as well.
Can you quantify that? How many new leads are you getting per month?
I don't have that information offhand, but you're seeing increased lead velocity. You're seeing ACVs that have, as I said, tripled in the last year, and that's a recipe. And you're seeing closed won rates go up. And so that's a recipe for, we've got a scalable sales motion now. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't be surprised if the next time we talk, the sales team was double what I just told you it is today.
Well, yeah, but we don't celebrate team growth. That's just expense structure, right? We like to look at obviously revenue growth and increased revenue per employee. Going back to the top of funnel question, though, I can't figure out where you guys are getting leads from because when I look at Ahrefs, your backlink profile is a 40, which is really low. And the organic traffic I'm seeing, it's like 400 clicks per month. So there's not a lot of inbound happening there. Is there some other channel you're using to sign folks up?
I don't know what metrics you're referring to, Nathan, but we've got a tremendous amount of inbound that has exceeded our plan.
Where do they come from, though? Are they searching a specific term on Google, and that's where it's coming from? It's not
SEO. It's based on leads to our website. SEO is a part of it, but our far and away our biggest lead source is just leads coming through our website and field marketing for industry events and stuff like that.
Okay.
It's Nathan, what it is us being known as the standard and people coming straight to our website and signing up.
Yeah, Josh, I get. You keep saying we're the standard. For my audience, understanding how you became the standard is more important than you just saying we're the standard over and over. And we'll have competitors listening going, he's not this, we do this better, we do. So I'm trying to actually dig into the meat and bones, right? So when you go, I guess, what was the last conference you went to, field marketing, that worked really well for you? And what was the response you got at the booth?
We're at field marketing and NIC conferences. I'm not at, we go to so many now that I couldn't even tell you the last one we went to, but we're at all the major industries, and now we're rolling out much more local related industry events and conferences as well. But from the day we started this, the booth response has been tremendous for us, and that was the original engine of what drove our inbound, and now that's leading to. And again, I know you don't want to hear that I think we're the standard, but I think the general awareness of the industry is leading to the website. Our website being the biggest magnet to inbound that we have, more so than even the conferences at this point.
Got it. Let's move forward with the new ground that you raised. You obviously have a board. You're setting growth projections. What would make you happy this year in terms of a growth rate? Are you targeting 200%, 100%, 300% year-over-year growth?
Yeah, we're looking to be at, again, 200% ish for the fourth straight year.
Okay, got it. So 200%. And are you? We're recording this in September. There's a couple months left in the year. Are you on track to hit 200% ARR growth this year?
We're right on track. Yep.
Awesome. That's exciting, man. All right. Hey, let's wrap up here with the famous five. Number one, what's your favorite business book?
The Messy Middle by Scott Belsky.
Number two, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
Yes, there's a few CEOs that I'm following and studying. Let me think of the best one that I could give you off the top of my head. I'm a first-time founder and I haven't operated before. So I'll just say that like the operational chops of Jeff Bezos to me is something that I admire quite a bit. And fun fact, we went to the same high school. So
very cool. Number only if you gave a couple equity points to everyone at the high school to Amazon, you'd all be sitting pretty right now, right?
Right.
Number three, what's the online tool that you use the most to run the business?
Online tool?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I mean, there's a lot of online tools. You talking about me personally?
The one that you use the most to run the business?
I would say Salesforce.
Yeah. Number four, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
As of this year, over 7, because it was my New Year's resolution and I'm adhering to it.
That's great. And what's your situation? Married, single, kids?
I'm married with a wife and 2 girls, and they're very important to me. And me sleeping is not just good for Document Crunch, but good for them as well.
I agree. How old are you today?
I turned 42 9 days ago.
Oh, congratulations. Happy late birthday.
Thank you.
Take us home here. Something you wish you knew back when you were 20.
Bet on yourself.
Guys, bet on yourself. DocumentCrunch.com. He started tinkering around with this call 5-6 years ago in 2018. He was at a cushy corporate job, but his line out of his door in terms of general contractors and changes to contracts and hard hat folks going, I need to edit here, was through the roof. He said, I got to do something about this. In 2021, he went full-time building Document Crunch with his 2 other co-founders. They split equity about evenly. Today, they're serving, quote, hundreds of customers. Their minimum price point is $4,000 per year. And there's a clear path. They charge, a couple $100 per project. So you can do the math, right? If they're doing one contractor doing thousands of projects, you quickly get to the $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 sort of contract ranges. They're growing their team 55 today, heavy outbound motion especially with AEs and inbound, 6 quota carrying reps. Just recently closed a $9 million Series A as they look to continue to scale and hopefully grow 200% year over year this year. Josh, thanks for taking us to the top.
Thanks, Nathan.